And then I'm ready whenever you're set.
Yes, sir. Step to the counter, state your full name for the judge. All the way.
Harold Andrew Tyson.
All right, Mr. Tyson. The state is alleging two charges against you. One is aggravated assault. That is a felony allegation. The second charge is misconduct involving weapons. That is a felony allegation also. On those charges, you have the right to remain silent, right to counsel, and right to trial. I've scheduled you for a preliminary hearing on April 3rd of 2026 at 4:00 p.m. The preliminary hearing is to establish if there's probable cause or not to charge you with those crimes, not convict you, only to charge. If probable cause is found, then your case will bind over to the Gila County Superior Court. If there's not probable cause found, one or both of those charges could dismiss. Your release conditions are as follows: obey all orders of the court, do not commit any crimes, notify the court immediately if your address changes, do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court, do not contact the alleged victim in any manner, do not go near the location of the alleged offense, but you may return for a civil standby to collect personal belongings. It's not a permanent order, but it is while the case is proceeding through the court process.
Understood.
Not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription, and not to possess any firearms. Do you understand those release conditions?
Understood.
All right. I'm placing a $20,000 bond hold on you. You'll remain in custody on that bond. Being that you're held in custody on bond, you have the right to a court-appointed attorney if you cannot afford to hire one. So I'll send a financial questionnaire to complete. If you wish to exercise your right for a court-appointed attorney, complete that questionnaire. What also happens is the prosecutor must file a formal complaint against you within 48 hours of the date and time of this hearing. If they fail to file that complaint within 48 hours, then you'll be released on your own recognizance. You won't have to post bail. Okay?
Wait, so I'm getting on a 48-hour hold right now?
Correct. You're on bond, a $20,000 bond. But if they don't file that complaint within 48 hours, then that bond goes away and you don't have to post it. So you'll be released at the conclusion of that if they don't file a complaint. If they do file a complaint within that 48 hours, then that $20,000 bond's still in place. And if you decide to exercise your right to that court-appointed attorney, that's when the assignment of that attorney will be done. They won't do it until the conclusion of the 48-hour hold.
Does today considered a day, or is it start tomorrow?
Today, no, it starts today. It's 48 hours from the initial appearance is what we're holding right now. So today counts. Tomorrow is 1 day. The next day is 2 days.
Oh, okay. So void today.
Right. Today's 1, tomorrow's 2. So at 1:30, 2 days from now, if I don't have a complaint at the court in my hands, then you'll be released out of custody.
Understood.
Okay. Any questions on any of that?
I'm asking if I could be released. I have a lot of property. I have 2 jobs I could be losing. My apartment, my car. I could be losing a lot of things. I understand what happened, but I'm asking if you could maybe release me on my own recognizance. I will take care of everything I need to do. Um, I have two jobs. I have an apartment I'm gonna lose. I have a storage unit. I have no family in this town. It's only me. So I
Okay,
will lose everything.
so let me,
I will come to court. I will do everything asked.
all right, Mr. Tyson, hold on. So another component is that there's an attorney that is assigned just to look at the bond. If they see the bond and so the attorney's not to represent you for the case, they're just look at your in custody and your bond. If they feel that the bond is unreasonable, they can request a hearing, and that hearing can take place very quickly after that request. So they're going to be sent this information. That's set aside from that attorney that I told you that you can ask to have if a complaint files with the financial questionnaire. So that's one component of that. If the complaint does file, then and you qualify for the court-appointed attorney and you wish to have a court-appointed attorney, then the assignment of that attorney can also ask for a hearing regarding your bond after they discuss the case with you to give these conditions. But as of now, with a pretrial service report that I received from the probation department with your priors and that information, that's why the bond's in place. Okay, so there's still a couple options. It's the attorney that's assigned for only the bond to review. If they want to ask for a hearing, they can. If that doesn't happen, then, and if they file that complaint, then there's going to be an attorney assigned to your case that can then also ask for a review, and they'll be in discussion with you on that.
I understand. I'm just asking if you could please work with me here. Like, I'm gonna lose everything. I have no family in this town. I have a house. I have an apartment. I have two jobs. I have a car. I have a storage unit.
Yeah,
No one's gonna be able to pay any of that stuff, and then I'm gonna lose
okay.
everything.
All right, and I don't want you to have to
I'll do
repeat.
community trials.
Sir,
I'll go to,
hang on.
I'll go to,
So you're saying the same information. I understand your concerns. I also have a duty as a court to protect the community, including the alleged victim in the case. Now, I use the word alleged. You're not convicted, but I have a duty to do that, and that's why I'm not budging on that bond. Okay, the prior arrests that you have, the information that's provided by the probation department of your prior information of the prior arrests and convictions and all of that information was all taken into account for that bond. Okay, so I have a duty also. I understand the consequences of what you're saying by you being held, but there's only so much that I can do. I mean, I try to do the best that I can. $20,000 for 2 Class 4 felonies, really not that astronomical.
is there like I'll do trial services. I'll go report to probation every day.
I think what we need to do is see what happens in 48 hours, and then if a complaint files, then you're assigned an attorney if you wish to have a court-appointed attorney, and if you qualify. If a complaint doesn't file, you're released. Okay?
Understood.
All right. That's all I have for you.
Okay, that makes sense. All this up. Okay. Got it. Pull down the judge. Go
And
ahead,
there,
turn 'em on.
thank you. The state is alleging 2 charges against you. Both of them are felony allegations. The first one is a burglary in the 3rd degree. The second one is drug paraphernalia, possession or use. On those charges, you have the right to remain silent, right to counsel, and right to trial. I've scheduled you for a preliminary hearing on the 3rd of April. The preliminary hearing is to establish if there is probable cause, and that will happen at 4:00 p.m. If probable cause is found, your case will bind over to the Gila County Superior Court. If probable cause is not found, then the charges could drop. Your release conditions are as follows: obey all orders of the court, do not commit any crimes, notify the court immediately of any address change, or if you obtain an address, do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court, do not contact the alleged victim in any manner, and do not go near the location of the alleged offense. I'm placing a $1,000 bond hold on you, so you'll remain in custody under that bond. being that you're in custody on a felony allegation. You have the right to a court-appointed attorney if you cannot afford to hire one. So I'll be sending you a financial questionnaire that if you wish to exercise your right to a court-appointed attorney at little or no cost to you, complete that financial questionnaire and the court will take that into consideration in the assignment of an attorney. Also, what happens is since you're in custody on a felony allegation, the prosecutor has 48 hours to file a formal complaint against you. If they fail to do that in 48 hours from today's date and time, then you'll be released on your own recognizance without having to post bail. If they do file that complaint within 48 hours and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, if you wish to exercise that right, that's when the attorney will be assigned to your case. They'll be made aware of your charges, your in-custody status, and your bond, and be in touch with you shortly thereafter. Do you have any questions regarding that information?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all I have for you.
So, can I do have a question, I'm sorry.
Yes,
So in 48 hours, is that on both charges?
correct.
Okay, so in 48 hours, if they do not,
If they don't file the complaint,
okay,
then you'll be released on your own recognizance. The case isn't over. They can still file the case 7 years from the date of your arrest or the statute of limitations, but they just didn't file the complaint within the required 48 hours on the hold.
okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome. Yep.
Step at that counter, state full name for the judge. Brian D. Moulton.
All right. All right, the state is alleging 2 charges against you. Both of them are misdemeanor allegations. The first one is interfering with a crime scene investigation. The second one is passively resisting arrest. On those charges, you have the right to remain silent, right to counsel, and right to trial. I've scheduled you for an arraignment on the 22nd of April at 9 o'clock, and you'll get a copy of this. The arraignment is where you'll need to be prepared to plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest to those charges.
Okay.
Depending on what you plead will be what happens next with the court proceeding, and all of those options, as well as the penalty ranges, will be explained to you at the next hearing prior to you giving your plea, so you'll be well informed. Your release conditions are as follows: obey all orders of the court, do not commit any crimes, notify the court immediately if your address changes, do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court. Do you understand those release conditions?
Yes, sir.
Can you comply with those?
Yes, sir.
And you'll appear in court as ordered on the date and time I provided?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll release you on your own recognizance. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Deal
That's
with
all.
it. Thank you.
you're welcome. That's all I got for you.